RE4 Remake just revealed a ton of new information. We just got some new details on the future Separate Ways DLC, including future content as well as a possible release window, as well as future update plans for the Mercenaries DLC, which is out right now. There is so much to cover in today's video, so let's get to it. Real quickly before I dive into this, I just want to say I am absolutely enjoying the RE4 Remake. I know I really haven't been posting. I've really just been sucked into this game and I just can't get enough of it. Just know that I do have a review coming of the game, and it's not just a basic little review. It's more like a discussion video because there is so much, like literally so many bullet points that I have that I want to talk about. All right, so the Mercenaries DLC, it is out right now. There are 4 playable characters and 3 playable stages. And then for the maps, we got the castle, the village, and the island. And just like Resident Evil Village's DLC, these characters have their own special abilities because there's this little meter bar, and when it reaches the max level, you can push 2 buttons and it activates mayhem mode. And each character has like their own secret ability. Like Leon, I think, has like faster reload and increased speed or something like that. And Luis can like place down dynamite, so that's kind of cool. But here's where things get interesting. So the secret unlockable weapon in Mercenaries is the hand cannon. For those that already know, you can already unlock the hand cannon in the main game. You have to play professional without using any bonus weapons. But for some reason, they decided to make it an unlockable weapon in Mercenaries as well. Now, I feel like this is because a lot of people are finding the professional difficulty to be extremely challenging, and so Capcom probably wants to give players a much easier way to unlock this weapon, which I guess makes a lot of sense. But that is not all, because we are actually getting more content for Mercenaries in the future. So there's a lot of people talking about this, but I think Death Golem deserves the most credit for this one. Because if we head over to Twitter, we can see that Death Golem here in a tweet mentions that we are getting 2 new characters in future DLC. These characters obviously being Ada Wong and Wesker. And I guess we're also getting some sort of new mode called Extreme Mode. I was looking all over the internet. I can't find anything about this mode, but as far as I know, we really don't have any new information on this Extreme Mode. But if I were to take a guess based off of the name, I assume it's a much harder, faster paced, more aggressive version of Mercenaries. I wonder if it's going to be like Resident Evil 5's Mercenaries. I completely forgot what it's called. Oh yeah, Resident Evil 5 No Mercy Mercenaries. I don't remember too much about it, but if I remember correctly, it was just a much harder version because there was a lot more enemies. There was probably more to it, but that's what I remember. So it's probably going to be something like that if I were to take a guess. There's going to be more enemies and they're going to be faster and more aggressive, and just it's going to be a much harder version. And Death Golem also mentions that this extra content for Mercenaries is going to be released around when the Separate Ways DLC is released, which brings me to my next major point: Separate Ways. So even though Separate Ways isn't out, it's basically confirmed. I'm sure most of you guys already know, but if you don't know, Separate Ways was actually data mined in the RE4 Remake files. And for those that don't know, Another Order was the Japanese name for Separate Ways. And Dusk even came out and said that the DLC will most likely release this year. See, the reason why the Resident Evil Village DLC took so long to release after the game came out was because the RE8 DLC was not planned until the game actually released. Capcom saw the fan reception and they were like, oh shoot, people actually want more. So they started working on DLC, and that's why it took so long. However, with the RE4 Remake, Separate Ways was planned before the game even released. Capcom probably had a much smaller team working on the Separate Ways DLC while the much bigger team was finishing up the remake. And now that the remake is out, all of those people who were working on the remake are probably going to now work on the DLC and help that much smaller team finish up this DLC. And considering how efficient these guys work and just how quick and just, you know, just hardworking and just everything that they did for this main game, I have full faith in Capcom that they're gonna truly deliver something special with the Separate Ways DLC. And just when you thought that was everything, no, there's even more. Now, as most of you guys already know, Sphere Hunter is a Capcom partner. This means that she gets exclusive access to a lot of their stuff early, as well as insights on future development plans. And when I was on Twitter, I noticed this very interesting tweet and I was like, hold up. So somebody replied to her and they said that they would subscribe to Sphere Hunter hunter for an entire year if U3 was in Ada's campaign, because obviously U3 was cut from the main game, so fans really want to see him back in the DLC. And the sphere hunter went out of her way and responded with "It will be." And obviously, U3 was also referred to as it in the original game. But if you take a look at this tweet, notice how this person points out these cut areas from the remake. For those of us that finished the game, we know that there were a lot of cut areas in this game. Some of the bigger ones was like the laser room, the platform ride with Ashley. There were some other areas in the game that were like entirely reworked or just completely cut. So I think it's safe to assume that we will be seeing all of this cut content in Ada's DLC. At least I hope so. That's entirely a rumor. I don't think anybody truly knows like what's gonna be in the DLC. I think it's safe to say that U3 will be in there, especially that a Capcom partner literally confirmed that he's in the game. So it's nice that none of this is leaked. I mean, all of this is pretty much confirmed in some way, shape, or form, except the mercenary stuff. I don't think we have like actual confirmation of that, but I don't see why Dusk would come out and lie about that. And I think if we use a little bit of common sense, you could kind of figure out that, yeah, Capcom simply wouldn't leave out Ada and Wesker and mercenaries. That literally makes no sense why they would do that. But that is all the information on the future DLC and content plans for the RE4 remake. What are your thoughts? I want to hear what you guys have to say down below. But thank you all so much for watching this video, and until next time.